कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा, जय सुभद्रा, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, जय निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्वा नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। सुन्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा, पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः, हृदयन्तस्त्वय्यभद्राणि, विदोनोति सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवतीरुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिके। Hare Krishna. We're discussing fourth canto, 31st chapter. We will continue from verse number 2. Okay, please repeat. किं वा योगेन साङ्ख्येन,
किं वा योगेन शङ्खेन,
किं वा योगेन साङ्ख्येन,
किं वा योगेन शङ्खेन,
न्यासस्वाध्यायोरपि,
न्यासाश्वद्धयोरपि,
न्यासस्वाध्याययोरपि,
न्यासाश्वद्धयोरपि,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
न यत्रात्मा प्रदोहरि,
न यरात्मा प्रदोहरि,
न यत्रात्मा प्रदोहरि,
न यत्रात्मा प्रदोहरि, किं वा योगेन शङ्खेन,
किं वा योगेन साङ्ख्येन,
नैश्यस्वध्यपरपि,
न्या- न्यास्यस्वाध्याययोरपि,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च,
न यत्रात्मा प्रदोहरि,
न यत्रात्मा प्रदोहरि,
किं वा योगेन साङ्ख्येन
किं
किं वा
वा
योगेन
योगेन
साङ्ख्येन,
शङ्खेन,
न्यासस्वाध्याययोरपि
न शशयद्भोरपि,
न्यासस्वाध्याययोरपि,
किं वा श्रेयोभिरन्यैश्च
किं वा
किम्बाश्रयोभिरन्यश्च
श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च
न यत्रात्मप्रदो हरिः
न
नायत्रात्मा प्रदो
यदात्मप्रदो
हरिः
हरिः
किं वा योगेन साङ्ख्येन
किं वा योगेन
योगेन
साङ्ख्येन
न्यासस्वाध्याय अयोरपि
न
स्वाध्याययोरपि
शशाध्यायोरपि
किं वा श्रेयोभिरनैष्यश्च
किं
किं
वा
वा
श्रेयोभिरन्यश्च
न यत्र आत्मप्रदो हरिः
न यदात्मप्रदो
नायत्रात्मप्रदो
हरिः
हरिः Synonyms. Kim.
Kim,
What is the use?
what is the use?
Va.
Va
Or.
or
Yogena.
yogena,
By mystic yoga practice.
by mystic yoga practice.
Shankhyena.
Shankhena,
By the study of Shankhya philosophy.
by the study of Shankha philosophy.
Nyasha.
Nyasha,
By accepting sannyas.
by accepting Shannash.
Swadhyayayo.
Swadhyayoho,
And by study of Vedic literature.
and by study of Vedic literature.
Api.
Api,
Even.
even.
Kim.
Kim,
What is the use?
what is the use?
Va.
Va
Or.
or
Shreyobhihi.
Shreyobhi,
By auspicious activities.
by auspicious activities.
Anye.
Anye,
Other.
other.
Cha.
Cha,
And.
hand.
Na.
Na,
Never.
never.
Yatra.
Yatra,
Where.
where.
Atma Pradha.
Atma Prada,
Full satisfaction of self.
full satisfaction of self.
Hari.
Hari,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Transcendental practices that do not ultimately help one realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead are useless. Be they mystic yoga practice, the analytical study of matter, severe austerity, the acceptance of sannyas, or the study of Vedic literature. All these may be very important aspects of spiritual advancement, but unless one understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, all these processes are useless. Purport. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 24.109, it is said, Bhakti vina kevala ज्ञाने मुक्ति नहीं होए, भक्ति साधना करे ei prapta brahma laye. Impersonalists do not take to devotional service, but take to other practices such as the analytical study of the material elements, the discrimination between matter and spirit, and the mystic yoga system. These are beneficial only insofar as they are complementary to devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore told Sanatana Goswami that without a touch of devotional service, Jnana, Yoga, and Sankhya philosophy cannot give one the desired result. The impersonalists wish to merge into the Supreme Brahman. However, the merging into the Supreme Brahman also requires a touch of devotional service. The absolute truth is realized in three phases: impersonal Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All these require a touch of devotional service. Sometimes it is actually seen that these Mayavadis also chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, although their motive is to merge into the Brahman effulgence of the Absolute. The yogis also at times take to chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but their purpose is different from that of the bhaktas. In all processes, karma, jnana or yoga, bhakti is required. That is the purport of this verse. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Satarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. We are discussing the conversation between Narada Muni and the Prachetas. Prachetas took renounced life. They went to the forest to perform strong austerity and sadhana to elevate to the spiritual platform. To assist, to help their goal, Narada Muni appeared there. So Prachetas offered their obeisances and inquired Narada Muni to talk about Krishna Katha or talk about or basically they asked, enlighten themselves in knowledge, transcendental knowledge, so that they can completely detach this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. So that's the reason Narad Muni, of course, Narad Muni wanted to purify them, to instruct them. That's why he came. But Prachetas requested Narad Muni to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. So now, in this section, Narada is speaking. So he is enlightening Prachetas. So the whole the theme of this section, that verse number 9 to verse number 14, is devotional service is the goal of all spiritual practice. There are various spiritual practices, and the goal or the essence of all the spiritual practices is bhakti. Ato bhaktir adokyaje. Bhakti unto him, unto Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is the goal of all the spiritual practices. And Narad Muni elaborates on this topic. So Narad Muni says, whatever qualities we possess can be purified, can be perfected by devotional service unto the Lord. Even this birth, the activity, our lifespan, our mind, words, everything can be perfected by the devotional service of the Lord, by devotional service of the Lord. That is what, by devotional service onto the, then these three verses, 10, 11, 12, he says, what is the use of different activities without bhakti? What is the use? What is the goal? What advantage or benefit we get by performing different materialistic activity? He says, we take birth, we take first our birth, then this is the called biological birth by men and women, right? They beget kids, that is the birth. Then that's called sokra. And then if someone is inclined towards bhakti or some spiritual practice, he may get initiated by the spiritual master. That is called first initiation or Savitra. Sacred thread. Even sacred thread, Brahmins, they put sacred thread. That is the tradition, that is the customs. Many, the Brahmanas have. Then there will be a second initiation, the Brahmanical initiation, Yajnika, initiation into the performance of Vedic scripture. So these are all different types of births. What is the use of that birth? Any types of, even initiation also. I mean, we may think that, if you get a diksha from a guru, then we are all set and we are situated at the spiritual platform. But that's not the truth. Unless until we are performing devotional activities, and those activities aim to please the Supreme Lord, not for any material benefit gain. Ahituki aprihata. Ahituki means without any motivation, without any interruption. We need to perform devotional service unto the Lord. That is where. That is what it is important. Otherwise, anybody, even Brahminical initiation, first initiation, or any kind of spiritual practices are useless, right? So, similarly in this verse, he's continuing the same topic. He says that Kimba Yogena Sankhena, mystic yoga, analytical study of matter, Sannyasa, the renounced order, and Swadhyaya or appease. Adhyaya, Swadhyaya means Vedic study. Kimba Srayobhir Anyascha, other auspicious acts, so many other acts. Those they do not, that na yatratma prado hari, that do not help in realizing Lord Hari, that do not help in realizing Lord Hari are useless. So all such activities, it feels like, it seems like they are, transcendental activity. Of course, they are transcendental activities, but unless those activities do not invoke love of God, do not invoke, our relations with Krishna or God, Hari, that means they are all useless. Without God realization, all these activities like analytical study of matter, mystic yoga, the renounced order, Vedic study, and all other auspicious activities are useless. So if this already we discussed that in our first canto, second chapter. Sutta Goswami also told that, right? Sama evahi kevalam. Any activity which does not invoke love of Godhead is just a srama. Srama means very hard work. Just it is a hard work. Srama evahi kevalam. Useless hard work, basically. So this is what we need to understand, that are we doing useful hard work or useless hard work? Anything we do, yes, it is a hard work. Don't you think? In this material world, nothing is available easily. We need to work hard to get it. And we are spending so much time, energy to get something, and that is also temporary, which does not invoke any love of Krishna. So that means what? We are so working hard just for nothing. Maybe for a moment of sense pleasure, for a moment of some enjoyment, so-called. That this is what the instruction Narada Muni says to Prachetas, right? Whatever your activities you do, doesn't matter, you are sannyasa or you're expert in Vedas, but if that doesn't invoke love of God, that's a simply waste labor. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, he quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Bhakti vina केवल ज्ञाने मुक्ति नहीं होए, केवल ज्ञान मुक्ति नहीं होए, भक्ति साधना करे এই प्राप्त ब्रह्मलय. So bhakti vina means without bhakti, right? Kevala jnane means only, kevala means only, jnana means knowledge, philosophical speculation, jnana, mukti nahi hoye. Mukti nahi hoye means mukti, liberation. One cannot attain liberation simply by jnana, without bhakti. Bhakti sadhana kare ei prapta brahmalaya. Bhakti sadhana kare ei. However, if one renders devotional service, prapta brahmalaya means he is automatically on the brahmalaya. Means he is a Brahma, he's received Brahman platform. He's automatically on the Brahman platform. So that is what Chaitanya Lord Mahaprabhu says. So when one performs devotional service unto Lord, it is equivalent to merging, and it's like people are so much interested into merging into impersonal Brahman, but when one perform devotional service and he gets liberation, he gets an opportunity to serve the Lord, then it is equivalent to its Brahman realization. It's not only equivalent, it's more than Brahman realization. In Brahman realization, what happens? One may merge into Brahman. Brahman is what? It's a effulgence. It's the energy of the Lord. It's a light emitting from the Lord. And one merges. Merging means what? It's not like if one merges, he becomes Lord. He is completely merging into Lord, right? It's just stay idle. Soul itself, stays independently. It's not a mix up kind of, right? If you see that when we mix oil in water, what happened? It's not mixing at all. If you see water is there, oil will be floating on top of water, right? They're not mixing because their compositions are different. They cannot mix it. So similarly, when Atma merges into Brahma Jyoti, the Atma will not dissolve and merge with Supreme, that energy. No, Atma itself lives, stays separately. And what happened after many, many years, millions of years maybe, what happened? The Atma realizes that, okay, this is not the right place for Atma. You really not, it's not. See, how much idle, ideally Atma can stay. Atma's nature is different. Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. That is the Swarupa. That is the Swarupa, means constitutional position. That is the real nature of Atma. The soul is to engage in the devotional service. Nitya Jivera Swarupa Krishna. Krishna Nitya Das, Nitya, eternal servant. One, and we are separating that eternal servant from Lord, So that is the situation. That's the ultimate bliss condition for soul, and that is the nature, dharma of the soul. So if dharma means what? It's a dharma means, see, there are many meanings of dharma. One meaning is the nature, the constitutional nature of something is known as dharma, or character. We can say that character or nature, right? For example, water, dharma of water to flow, or dharma of water to stay cool. When we pour the water somewhere, the water will flow. Water cannot stay somewhere at one place unless until we put in some container, all like that. Similarly, dharma of heat is to give, or fire is to give heat, right? So similarly, dharma of a soul is to engage in devotional service onto Krishna, the Supreme Lord, because soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai vangso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So soul is Mamai Amsa of the soul. The Supreme Lord, Supreme Soul is there. The Amsa, the part and parcel is so that's why the dharma of the soul is to always engage in constant devotional, constant service to the Lord. The moment we stop doing that, the moment we separate from the Lord, the fall down starts, the miserable condition starts. So that is why we say, that is what we need to engage. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, bhakti sadhana kare. When one performs bhakti, he will get liberation. So impersonalists do not take to devotional service, but take to other practices such as the analytical study of the material elements, the discrimination between matter and spirit, and the mystic yoga system. These are beneficial only in so far as they are complementary to the devotional service. These are all beneficial only in so far as they are complementary to devotional. They are not perfect, but some extent we can get benefit, but not absolute. So that's why in this verse we discussed Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Sanatana Goswami that without a touch of devotional service, Jnana, Yoga and Sankhya philosophy cannot give one the desired result. That is why in a nectar of devotion, Rupa Goswami says, Anya vilashita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukullena krishnanusilanam bhaktir uttama. Anya abhilasa. Abhilasa means desire. Anya abhilasa. There should not be any other abhilasa. Anya vilashita sunyam. Sunyam means there should be no other abhilasa, no interest, no desire. Only one should have a desire to bhakti. Anya vilashita sunya jnana karmadi anavrita. Jnana and karma, these all are not perfect. Only anukulena bhakti, one should perform anukula bhakti, favorable bhakti. Not that conditional bhakti or unfavorable bhakti. What do we mean by unfavorable bhakti? Bhakti means bhakti, right? How can bhakti can be unfavorable then? Right? Yes, bhakti can be unfavorable means there are some example where, the motivation behind bhakti is something else, right? Or, for example, let's think about these demons, Ravana and Kamsa, if you see that, they are so knowledgeable and they were constantly thinking of Krishna. So, if one thinks about Krishna, that is pure bhakti. Constantly thinking of Krishna means what? Always remembering Krishna. Krishna says that. Always remember me, never forget me. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Hmm? Always kirtana. Kirtana means what? Glorify the Lord. If think about that, if one remember Krishna always, that is highest platform. Remembering Krishna always, because that is what our goal. We want to remember Krishna always. We do not want to forget Krishna. Remembering Krishna is also pure devotional practice. But here in case of Ravana and Kamsa and other demons also, they were remembering Krishna more than the devotees, right? 24/7, because Kamsa was unable to sleep the moment he got the news, that celestial news that Devaki's son will kill him. So that's why the moment he was unable to sleep, he was desperately waiting and searching. When, as soon as, Krishna appear, he will kill. That's why he was unable to sleep, always remembering, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is she? Right? So even Ravana, the moment he kidnapped Mother Sita, he was also thinking when of Ram, because he knows Ram will come somehow or other, right? But the moment when he will come, so that he will kill him, so that he was also kind of aware of the situation. So in these both the scenario, we see that they were thinking about Lord continuously. But is that a Anukula Bhakti? No, Anukula means favorable. That is that Bhakti. It is a Bhakti because they are remembering Krishna, one sense we say, but that's not Anukula Bhakti. That is why Rupa Goswami says one should perform Anukula Bhakti, favorable Bhakti. Means the Bhakti which develops love towards Krishna, not a hatred towards Krishna. So that is what we need to learn. We need to practice. And here, Prabhupada says, the all other kind, bhakti, even though jnana, yoga, sankhya, there is a element of bhakti. The absolute truth realized in three phases, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, all these require a touch of devotional service. Sometimes it is actually seen that Mayavadis also chant Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, this is something we need to know. Mayavadis sometimes chant, Hare Krishna, although their motive is to merge into Brahma effulgence of the Lord. Yes, they chant sometimes. So Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadyanse tam tatheva vajamyam. Even for Brahman realization also, one should have some extent of bhakti, not the pure level, but some extent. That's why Krishna sanctioned them to merge into Brahma Jyoti. Even the yogis sometimes chant, but their motivation is Paramatma realization. So in all processes, karma, jnana, yoga, bhakti is required. That is the purport of this verse. That is what Prabhupada says. So bhakti is required. So the extent is different. In a pure devotional service, that is Bhagavan, we get a Bhagavan relation. But what Prabhupada says, even karma yoga or jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, there is some element of bhakti is there. But in the pure bhakti, that is we get a Bhagavan relation. That is why sometimes people say, oh, they are doing bhakti. Yes, of course they're doing, but that's not the perfect. That's not that thing. So this is what, and, here Narad Muni says that without God realization, all these kind of activities are useless. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment from anybody? Is there any question? All right, we'll discuss next verse then. Thirteenth verse. Please repeat. Shreyasam api sarvesham.
Shreyasham api sarvesham.
Shreyasham api sarvesham.
Shreyasham api sarvesham.
Atma hi avadir artha.
Atma hi avadi artha.
Atma hi vadir artha.
Atma hi avadi artha.
Sarvesam api bhutanam.
Sarvesham api bhutanam.
Sarvesam api bhutanam.
Sarvesham api bhutanam.
Harir atmatmada priyah.
Harir atmatmadaha priyaha.
Harir atmatmada priyah.
Harir atmatmaha priyaha. Shreyasham api sarvesham.
Shreyesham api sarvesham.
Atma hi avadhi artha.
Atma hi avadir artha.
Sarvesham api bhutanam.
Sarvesham api bhutanam.
Harir atmatmada priyaha.
Harir atmatmada priyah.
श्रेयसामपि सर्वेषाम्
Shreyasham api
Shreyesham api
sarvesham.
sarvesham.
आत्मा ह्यवदरत्ततः
Atma
Atma
hi
hi
avadir
avadhi
artha.
artha.
सर्वेषामपि भूतानां
Sarvesham
Sarvesham
api
api bhutanam.
bhutanam.
हरेरात्मात्मतः प्रियः
Harir
Harir atmatmada
atmatmada
priyah.
priyaha.
श्रेय
सर्वेषामपि सर्वेष
Shreyesham api sarvesham.
Sham.
आत्मा हि अविधिर् अर्थः
Atma hi
Atma hi
avadir
avadhi
artha.
artha.
सर्वेषामपि भूतानां
Sarvesham
Sarvesham api
api
bhutanam.
bhutanam.
हरिरात्मात्मदा प्रिय
Harir
Harir atmatmada
atmatmadaha
priyah.
priyaha.
श्रेयासमपि सर्वेषाम्
Shreyasham api
सर्वेषामपि
sarvesham.
सर्वेषाम्
आत्मा हि अवधिरर्थतः
Atma hi avadhi artha.
सर्वेषामपि भूतानां
Sarvesham api bhutanam.
भूतानां
हरिरात्मात्मदा प्रियः
हरि
Harir atmatmadaha priyaha.
Okay. Translation and purport. Can someone read?
I can read Prabhuji.
Yes.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Factually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of all self-realization. Consequently, the goal of all auspicious activities, karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The living entity is the marginal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the material world is the external energy. Under the circumstances, one must understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is factually the original source of both matter and spirit. This is explained in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 7.4-5. Bhumir apo nalo vayu kam mano buddhir evacha ahankara ityam me bhinno prakritir astada apareyam itastaya anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabhavo ye ya yedam dharyate jagat. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these eight comprise my separated material energies. But besides this inferior nature, O mighty Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind which consists of all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. The entire cosmic manifestation is but a combination of matter and spirit. The spiritual part is the living entity, and these living entities are described as Prakriti or energy. The living entity is never described as Purusha, the Supreme Person. Therefore, to identify the living entity with the Supreme Lord is simply ignorance. The living entity is the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord, although there is factually no difference between the energy and the energetic. The duty of the living entity is to understand his real identity. When he does, Krishna gives him all the facilities to come to the platform of devotional service. That is the perfection of life. This is indicated in the Vedic Upanishad. Tesham shatata
This
yuktanam
one.
bhajanam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanati te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. The conclusion is that one must come to the platform of Bhakti Jog, even though one may begin with Karma Jog, Jnana Jog, or Ashtanga Jog. Unless one comes to the platform of Bhakti Jog, self realization or realization of the Absolute Truth cannot be achieved. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Narad Muni says, Shreyasham api sarvesham atma hi avadhir artah sarvesham api bhutanam harir atmat madapriyaha. So he says, his continues his discussion, right? His points, he says, Lord is the source of all self-realization process. He is the source. Shreyasam api sarve. Of all auspicious activities. Shreyasam api sarvesham. Shreya means auspicious activity. Of all activities, Atma hi abadhir artha. The Jivatma is the factual goal or destination. Atma hi abadhir. Abadhi, destination. Atma, the self. Sarvesham api bhutanam. But the Supreme Lord Hari is the Atma of all Jivatma. Harir Atmad Matat Priyaha. And when he is pleased, he gives himself. So he said that actually the Supreme Personality Godhead is the original source of all self-realization. Whatever self-realization process we have, the source is, the goal is, the original source of all self-realization is Supreme Lord. Consequently, the goal of all auspicious activities, karma, jnana, yoga, bhakti, is the Supreme Personality Godhead. So that is what we need to understand. All kinds of yogas, all kinds of practices has one goal, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Even if you see the impersonal Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, ultimately Paramatma and Brahman, they exist, and what is the source of them is the Lord, Supreme Lord himself, Supreme Lord manifest as a Paramatma in every atom, Supreme Lord takes the Atma position in the various way. He manifests as the Atma of this entire, all the universal system, as a Karunadakshay Vishnu. He manifests as Atma in every universe as a Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Similarly, he manifests as Atma in every atom as a as a Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu resides in a various Atma form. For if you consider all the universes, right? Not only we have this one universe which consists of 14 planets, there are innumerable universes, right? And all the universes has Atma as a Mahavishnu, from whose body, all the universes are created. And similarly, in every universe, we have the Atma that is called Garvodaksha Vishnu. And if you remember, when we were discussing the creation process, after this entire globe, the universe was created, when it was manifested, then it was lying on the ocean, ocean, Karana ocean for thousands of years, Then Garvodaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu expand himself as a Garvodaksha Vishnu and enter into each universe. That's where comes the universe gets life, right? So that's why whenever there is Mahavishnu, when the Lord is not present, it is equivalent to dead. So like that, when Paramatma resides in every atom, that's why it has some, uh, it has some value, kind of. So that is what it says. So Narad Muni here says that the original source of all self-realization is Supreme Personality Godhead, and the goal of all auspicious activities, karma jnana, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is what here Prabhupada says in the purport. The living entity is the marginal energy. So we know that there are three energies, right? Antaranga Sakti, Bahiranga Sakti, and Tathastha Sakti, right? Antaranga is the eternal potency, internal energy of the Lord, and all the other things are the external energy of the Lord. We talk about Maya, we talk about modes, nature, modes, energy. So these are all external energy, Bahiranga Sakti. And in between that, there is Tathastha Sakti, which consists of living entity. Living entity is also energy. But this what happens, because it is superior than external energy, the living entity tried to lord it over the material world. That's where the miserable conditions come up. But all the energy is under the control of Supreme Lord. It's not that the marginal energy can control the external energy. Although it has little more power, it is little superior than external energy, but still external energy is under the control of Lord. So how can one control the external energy? No one can control anyway. All are under control, under Supreme Lord. Maya Dakshena Prakriti. So that is why it's better to, instead of lord it over the material world, we should collaboratively work and to please the Supreme Lord. So what is the collaboration? Means we use all the resources of external energy, follow all the laws and regulation of what we are meant for, what are the laws or regulation has been prescribed to us, we should follow that. That way, the external energy and marginal energy can collaboratively work, right? So this is what Prabhupada says, and he's giving the Bhagavad Gita purport, Bhumira Panalava Parayam Natastwana, all this, right? The entire cosmic manifestation is but a combination of matter and spirit. So this spiritual part is the living entity, and these living entities are described as Prakriti, Prakriti and Purusha, right? So always there is there is confusion when we say Purusha means not confusion. In general, people think Purusha means male. Actually, in terms of Vedic knowledge or Vedic explanation, Purusha, there is only one Purusha. It's not like Purusha means male. Of course, there is a meaning, Purusha and Stri. Stri means woman and Purusha means Stri. I mean, what do you call? Male, right? So, but the real Purusha is Supreme Lord Krishna. He is the only Purusha. Rest all are Prakriti. Even all the living entities are Prakriti. Prakriti and Purusha, right? That is the only one Purusha is the Supreme Lord Krishna, and rest all are Prakriti. Only Purusha means, if you say that only Krishna is enjoyer, rest all are enjoy. So Prakriti, all Prakriti. Prakriti doesn't mean that whatever we see, the nature is Prakriti. Even all the living entities are known as Prakriti. Right? That is the real Vedic understanding. The supreme, therefore, the identity of living entity with the Supreme Lord is simply ignorant. The living entity is the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord, although there is factually no difference between energy and energetic. Yeah, there is no difference, but there is the duty of the living entity. There is a difference in the quantity, but quality-wise same, because we are part. The duty of living entity is to understand his real identity. When he does, Krishna gives him all facility to come to the platform of devotional service. That is the perfection of life. Satatam, tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tami. Krishna gives us knowledge by which we'll come to him. So that is, Prabhupada concludes that the conclusion is that one must come to the platform of Bhakti Yoga. Even though one may begin with Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all the other yoga, but one should come to Bhakti Yoga. Unless one comes to the platform of Bhakti Yoga, self-realization or realization of the absolute truth cannot be achieved. Bhakti, only through Bhakti only one can understand Krishna. Otherwise, it's difficult to understand Krishna. And that is what, if you really want to perform devotional activity, invoke spirituality within us, we should perform devotional service unto the Lord. This is what Narad Muni says. See, these are all wonderful, transcendental knowledge which Narad Muni is enlightening to Prachetas, and at the same time we are getting enlightened. Right? Hare Krishna. I'd like to stop here. Is there any question or comments from anybody, or anyone wants to share anything? Okay. Thank you. Let's offer our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Pancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All assembled devotees ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone.